Welcome to JSA TV, where we're covering the latest stories, trends, and innovations with leaders in digital infrastructure. My name is Emily Scherer for JSA, and I am pleased right now to be joined by Michael Brady. He's the Chief Revenue Officer of Conterra Networks, and also Chris Harris. He's the Chief Network and Cybersecurity Officer. So thank you both for joining me here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so to start off, for those who might not know Conterra Networks, can you share, Chris, maybe a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Organically, we started about 24 years ago as a multi-point, and it got into fixed wireless, and then adapted in the late 2012-ish timeframe into fiber, and started to overbuild some of our markets. And now we've grown to about 15,000 route miles that we operate through. Majority is North Carolina, Louisiana, and strategic parts of Texas, a little bit of southern New Mexico. That's our main core. And we have some island markets around in different states as well that we've picked up. Primarily driven through K-12 and wireless carriers back in that time frame, and now really branching off into enterprise and monetizing the asset and really driving our growth in the core markets.
Excellent. That's a very large footprint. Yeah, thank you for sharing that background with us. And I want to talk a little bit also about your relationships and your partnerships. So, Michael, if you could tell me a little bit about your relationship with APG and Fiera Infrastructure. How have these relationships supported your expansion and driven long-term success for Conterra Networks?
Yeah, so APG and Fiera are infrastructure funds themselves. So they actually are our sponsors. And we left the PE world and then went into the infrastructure world. What that really means is they're long-term investors, and they provide us with the amount of capital we need to grow the business at the rate that we want to grow the business. It's a very capital-intensive business, so having partners and sponsors like Fiera and APG are critical to our long-term success.
Yeah, and Metro Connect is a very finance-heavy show as well, so I'm not sure if they're here and you've been able to have meetings with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good,
Just with them.
excellent. Oh, awesome, great, good to hear. Now, Chris, I want to ask you about leadership changes because you all recently hired a new CFO. His name is Mark Gossett, and he's debuting here at Metro Connect, so he's with you all. Can you tell me a little bit more about him and what he does for Conterra?
Absolutely. So Mark's actually been with Conterra for about 6 years or so. And came in, he was an auditor for us outside of Conterra, so he knew the business pretty well from a financial and a structured framework for a while. And so what Mark, I think, brings to the table now is he's moved from that role, being outside looking in, getting inside and going to the CFO, is how important that triangle offense between sales, operations, and finance really is to drive deals, drive growth, right? You have to be able to have those right partnerships, the right conversations at our level. Try to be aggressive, but minimizing some risk at the same time because we're opportunistic to build more. It's not a build and they will come model anymore. You have to be very mindful of the 30 things you got to think about to drive revenue and growth. And so we're excited that Mark has some knowledge of that history, his close partnership with us. He can really then start to think creatively about it. Finance being a driver because they don't sit behind the scenes. They got to be right up front, helping us figure out how do we get the right paybacks, the right structures, the right win. And then at the end, you have to drive that customer experience curve, right? And so how do we fund ourselves, not just to win the business, but keep the business and really fund those vehicles in the back end where my operations helps take care of the customers in suit of Michael, and Michael's really driving the customers. So that there's a large ecosystem that he's aware of. We don't have to bring him up to speed, and he can really jump in and help.
It's good that he has the experience. He sounds like the exact right guy for the job. So congrats to you all, and congrats to Mark on that promotion.
Absolutely,
congrats to Mark.
Yeah. And now I want to talk about a shift towards moving up market that's happening right now, Michael. So what does that look like for Conterra, and how are you positioning the company to serve larger enterprise customers?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, we did a really strategic review of the business, and what we found is we pride ourselves on quality. We build the best network in the industry, and we service our customers like they're part of our family. So bringing that, it really made it apparent that we can service the larger communities and the larger size customers within our footprint. And so now we're really, I would say, what before we were kind of a small to medium-sized business company. We still serve that segment, but we have a large presence in mid-market and the lower end of enterprise today. With that, we've also expanded our portfolio. So we're not just a communication or connectivity customer now, or company now. We now actually have a full managed service portfolio and a dark fiber portfolio to go up and down the stack for our customers.
Excellent. Great growth there, and thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And congratulations also on those new partnerships and moving into that enterprise space.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you all for being here. That wraps up our interviews here at Metro Connect. So thank you guys for stopping by. It was very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And
Thank
to
you.
all of
Thank
our
you.
viewers, stay connected and happy networking.
Cheers.